me acting like the hood. I need a brown-skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on a better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When it down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. Pacino.
Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Eli Sekbeck. I'm here with Sofia Gutierrez, a special boxing event. Tremendous talented fighters, but more importantly, is to raise awareness for mental health. The fight's going down tomorrow at the Avalon. Sofia?
It's an exciting event, one of its kind. People don't see that boxing is really a lonely sport. You don't know what these guys are going through. You know, I've covered baseball, I've played softball, and once these guys make it to the next level, let's say they go straight to the minors, and they don't make it, what do? They have teammates that they can talk to, but boxing's a lonely sport. You're there on your own, and sometimes you wonder what's tougher, the physical fight or the mental fight. So I'm excited to talk about the fighters, not only about how excited they are to fight tomorrow for a great cause, but also how important mental health is.
Absolutely. The event is almost sold out. Few tickets left, but let's go over to Lupe right now with the weigh-in.
It is my great pleasure to welcome you all to Hollywood, California. It's tomorrow night. It's going to be all lights, camera, and action inside of the ring. Going to be broadcast live on DAZN. It is championing mental health. A production of 555 Media being presented in association with Alleviate Tax, along with Athletes for Hope and WBC Cares. This is the final opportunity for these guys to go face-to-face. They will go toe-to-toe inside of the ring, but right now they must overcome the scale. Tomorrow night, this contest is set for 8 rounds. It'll be happening in the featherweight division. We first welcome on the scale. Fighting out of the blue corner and representing Atlanta, Georgia, please welcome Carlos Action Jackson weighing in. $124.4, the official weight for Jackson, 124.4. His opposition, fighting out of the red corner, makes his highly anticipated return to the ring. Puro East Los Angeles, California, it's Vicious. Vic Pasillas on the scale. $125.4, the official weight for Pasillas, 125.4.
I'm back. Let's go.
Face off, guys.
Front of the scale.
Behind the scale.
Right here. This is the middle, guys.
As we mentioned, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow night it's lights, camera, all action. The Avalon Hollywood is the venue. Going worldwide on DAZN, it is championing mental health.
Thank you. Face forward.
Right here, guys. Right here.
cameraman right here, guys. Face him.
East Lowe's in the building. Let's go. Keep Garcia. Let's work.
Let me tell you guys, this is a tremendous fight. Two fighters, Victor Garcia, 17-1, and the amateurs, one of the best amateurs in the history of boxing, tremendously talented. And of course, you have Carlos Jackson, 20 wins, just 2 losses. So they're putting everything on the line, Sophia. This is not it's not a mismatch.
Yeah, and it's nice that we're here in Hollywood, not too far from where Vic is from, East LA. Carlos Jackson, I got to speak to him at one of his last fights. Family all over Atlanta, Los Angeles. He does have family here, so it's a special night for them to be back in the ring. Like you said, Vic is ending a 1-year, 2-month layoff, so excited to see him. Spoke to his wife yesterday, his kids. It's nice to have him here in LA and ready to fight in front of his family, friends, and of course, the boxing fans.
Let me tell you, in all my years, that's the best sparring I've ever seen in my life is watch Victor Garcia sparring. It's like watching Edwin Valero. And check out a video right over here about Victor Garcia.
Vicious Victor Casillas.
So we have a special guest with us, Sophia. We have Anthony over here. He put together this whole event. Anthony, why do this event?
I just wanted change. I wanted to see something different. I wanted the fighters to experience something different from start to finish. And so for me, it was a matter of having so many individual conversations with professional fighters, and there was a common denominator in all the conversations, and that was we struggle. We struggle with mental health for multiple facets, from the sport itself to dealing with the promoters, sometimes their managers. So for me, it was just a matter of like, can I change one fighter's life? And that was the plan. You know, I wasn't going to be able to tackle everyone or 100 fighters, but if I can help impact one, that makes a difference. And then one led to another, and one led to another, and there was a common denominator with all of that, which is something like this is needed, a platform for this. A lot of people are talking about it, not many people are doing anything about it.
That's right. Now, I know we mentioned it yesterday, but can you tell everyone how long it took you to plan this event?
We did this in 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
6 weeks we put this together.
With these names on the card, with the referee, with everything, it's very top notch. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you're offering counseling to any fighter on the card.
Yeah, so we partnered with an organization called Athletes for Hope, and they stepped up big. And I told them if they want to be a part of this, I need something big from them. And that is, I don't want just a platform to talk about it. A lot of people are talking about mental health, but what can we offer the fighters? That's a real, tangible, practical thing. And I said, I want free therapy for them. And they agreed. They stepped up. I asked for 6 months. They gave a year.
Wow.
Yeah, so 1 year of free therapy access for every fighter on this card.
That's really cool. Your concept, what you said, it reminds me of a story about the starfish and the beach. There was a beach where a bunch of starfish came on, and they were all dying.
Yeah.
And the little girl threw one back in the ocean. So some guy walking by said, "What are you doing?" It's not going to help. It's not going to help the rest, but it's going to help this one.
Right.
So you just want to make a difference. Start one at a time.
Exactly. Mental health is such a broad topic, right? It hits a lot of different verticals. But the idea was, look, it's just about starting. You know, it's just about taking one step forward. We don't have to take 100 steps. We don't need to run. The biggest thing that I didn't expect was the amount of people that were going to rise up from this and start talking about it and reach out and say, hey, I'm a therapist in Dallas, Texas, or I'm a therapist in San Diego. How can we get involved? And I think that's what's going to be the output after all this, is you're going to see everybody kind of come out and say, how can we help? And I'm an okay organizer. And so for me, it's a matter of getting all these people through a funnel and start thinking about what we can do to just change one life at a time within boxing and give these fighters the support they deserve.
And of course, being on a platform like DAZN, this is going to be showcased all over the world. So hopefully this is the first of many events like this.
Yes, hopefully it's the first of many, and the next one won't be planned in 6 weeks because we'll have the credibility, we'll have the support, which is huge. I want to thank the WBC for stepping up. They didn't know me that well, and they just kind of believed in me and trusted me. So Mauricio and Jill, appreciate them. And Athletes for Hope, they have a big platform with guys like Stephen Curry that's on their leadership board. They stepped up, and so everything, everyone that really played a role in this, and Steve Bash and you guys, and you guys all have your great own platforms, and I'm kind of new to the game, so appreciate everybody, Harrison Whitman, for really allowing me in the game and welcoming me to the game and helping me build this platform.
Coming up next, a rising star, a very popular fighter from San Diego, Johnny Mansour. He's fighting Cristian Avalos. And let's hear from Johnny Mansour first.
My name is Johnny Mansour, and I'm from San Diego, California.
That was a good name.
Now that I'm pro, I'm 4-0, my amateur pedigree is transitioning into my professional boxing style, and I feel like I'm getting a lot more comfortable inside that ring.
Johnny Magic!
My mom is currently fighting through her toughest battle in life. She's battling cancer. As a son, it's been very hard to see my mother struggling, and not one time has she looked at me with any doubt. She's looked at me and just told me to keep fighting and to keep going on with my life. So for me, my goal is to fight for her. I always expect the best out of my opponents. I always actually expect greater than what they truly are. Whatever he brings forward, I'm ready for it. He's never been knocked out before, but he's never faced Johnny. This fight is dedicated to my mom, the strongest woman in the world. Mom, I'm gonna win my fight, and you're gonna win yours. Thankful for all the support, and you're not gonna wanna miss this performance.
We continue with the weigh-in for championing mental health live tomorrow night on DAZN from the Avalon Hollywood. This next contest set for 6 rounds in the lightweight division. First to weigh in, fighting out of the blue corner from Carson City, Nevada. This is Cristian Avalos on the scale. $134.4, the official weight for Avalos. 134.4. His counterpart, fighting out of the red corner, the highly decorated amateur and now undefeated pro. Fighting out of San Diego, California, and representing his Iraqi people, please welcome Johnny Magic Mansour. $133.8, the official weight for Mansour. Again, ladies and gentlemen, you can catch all the action live tomorrow night on DAZN, live from the Avalon Hollywood. It is championing mental health. A production of 555 Media, being presented in association with Alleviate Tax, Athletes for Hope, and WBC Cares.
Photo comes out nice. Thank you very much.
Right here.
We go back to the desk with Ellie and Sophia.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Lupe, Sophia. We have a special guest. You want to introduce everybody who's here with us?
Of course, we're joined by none other. We just saw him weigh in with Vic Macias. Vic, how are you doing? You're a native to LA, and you're going to put on a show for us tomorrow.
I'm doing great. Jesus is good. Jesus is great. Just very excited for this. You guys have done a great job on putting on one of the best shows I've seen. And I've been on some really good cards, so this is really good. I appreciate you guys, and thank you guys for having me. We're ready. All the hard work's done. It's time to collect.
Yeah. Now, a lot of physical work is obviously put into the sport, but what do you think is the harder fight, the mental or the physical?
It's more of what's your will, like how far are you willing to go. And, everybody knows me. Ali's been knowing me since I was 19, 18 years old. And that's one thing. I was the first person in the gym and the last person out the gym. So for me, it's just my pedigree. I like to overwork. I like to overtrain. I like to do that. So this training camp, we work very smart. We work very hard. And I took every training session as it was, not looking forward past that, you know. So, you know, what you guys are going to see is a new and improved Vic, and I've never been focused like this ever. And the mentality behind it is always been there, you know. I'm like I say, I'm a wolf in a dog pound, you know. So this is what I'm made for.
Victor, you're very humble. You got to tell people, you might be one of the biggest secrets in boxing. You were not a 5-time national champ. You weren't a 10-time national champ. You weren't a 15-time national champ. You weren't a 24-time national champion.
Yes, 25 national champions.
Sorry, 25.
And then five amateur world championships as well. You know, and we fought everybody from, you know, Cuba to Russia to Germany, and, you know, I never lost a world title champion fight like that, you know. And so, you know, this is me carrying that legacy on over to the pros. And, you know, I work with Brian Schwartz, Michael Basil, and, you know, I got two of the best coaches in the world that have just been tempering my steel, working my mind, building my craft. And, you know, yeah, you know, I'm a lot more humble than back then, you know, but, you know, I'm a grown man. I got 2 kids. You know, I want them to follow, you know, humbleness, not cockiness. And, you know, I'm just very confident, you know, and everybody knows what's going to happen tomorrow night. But we're just going to let it play out. I don't want to tell the story too early.
Last thing before you go, really quick, tell me about the face-off right now. It's a great fight. It got heated up there.
You know, one thing about me is I feed off of animosity. You know, and I've been like that since I was a kid. So if he got a little bit of animosity, that's you know, he tried to jump in the kitchen, I threw him in the oven. You know, we baked his ass real quick, and that's just the way that's just what I was made to be. You know, this is what I love. You know, if he would have been in there a little bit more quiet or just a little bit less with the eyes, I probably would have been quiet. But, you know, just me, that's who I am. I'm just peleonero. I'm a fighter. I'm gonna fight. You know, and we could have fought right then and there if we wanted to. You know.
Y listo para la pelea.
Y listo para comer.
Eso.
All right, thank you so much, Victor. I guess.
Well, Vic, thank you. We're going to toss it back to Lupe as we get ready for our next weigh-in.
Well, thank you so much, and you guys have a blessed day. God bless.
With the official weigh-in, our next contest set for a limit of 8 rounds in the featherweight division. First, to step on the scale, fighting out of Tucson, Arizona, for the 11th time as a pro, it is Jose Fosforito Ramirez on the scale. $123.8 for the fighter from the AZ, Jose Fosforito Ramirez. His counterpart in the red corner, fighting out of Anaheim, this is Jesse Mandapat weighing in. $123.2, the official weight for Mandapat, 123.2. If you can't join us tomorrow night at the Avalon Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you tune in on DAZN. It is championing mental health. A production of 555 Media being presented along with Alleviate Tax in association with Athletes for Hope and WBC Cares.
Thank you, guys.
I saw you play these.
As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow night it's going to be lights, camera, and all action at the Avalon Hollywood. This is one of our undercard bouts. Mandapat Ramirez. Catch the action live on DAZN. Sophia, Ellie, back to you guys.
Okay, Sophia, what do you say about that? How exciting was that? You could feel the energy.
I was going to say, it's already so hot outside. The energy that they're giving to each other makes it that much hotter, but obviously there's some tension. And just like Vic said, sometimes you need that to really get the fire going.
No, I'm excited for this card. It's really good. The fact that they put it together in just 6 weeks, that's incredible.
Mm-hmm. And seeing Mandapat, he's fighting out of LA at Wildcard, and it was really nice to have the media workout there yesterday. Such a historical place. The house that Freddie built, they just celebrated 30 years.
And Manny Pacquiao was there yesterday.
Yes.
He's actually there today, too. But I'm excited for this card. It's very, very competitive fights. It's very tight. As you can see, everyone's shredded. But let's go back to Lupe and go on to the next weigh-in.
Our next bout, 8 rounds in the welterweight division, hailing from Buenos Aires, Argentina. Please welcome Luis Lucho Verón on the scale. 146.2 for Verón, 146.2. His opposition in the red corner from Ventura, California, this is Ricardo Rubalcaba weighing in. 147 on the nose for Rubalcaba, 147 on the nose.
Look forward, mira para adelante, por favor. Aquí, este camarógrafo, este, de gris.
So we have another special guest, Sophia. We have Cody Crowley, one of the best 147 pounders on the planet, but he also is very aware of mental health, being a boxing star. He's managed by Anthony, or Anthony managed him. Tell me about dealing with, you're so successful, but dealing with the mental aspects of it.
It's been my biggest battle my whole entire career. Any opponent in front of me seemed very easy compared to myself and my own mind. You know, I could go have an amazing training session, look great to everybody else, have a great sparring session, but when I go home at night and I'm rewatching and I only see the bad things that I think I did and all that self-judgment, he's not fast enough, oh, blah, blah, blah. There could be a million other things that it could be, right? But it was always my biggest battle, and it actually made me very sick. You know, in 2019, I was fighting very ill with fatty liver, autoimmune, lupus, IBS, neurological, nerve issues, adrenals, kidneys, and having such a health issue like that really made me have to step back from everything in my life and reevaluate not even just me as the fighter, but who's under that, because the fighter's only a couple hours a day. And if I'm still wearing that same archetype as the fighter the whole entire day, other aspects of me that give me life, that give me hope, that give me faith, that give me excitement and joy. You know, fighting is very, very, there's a certain demeanor about fighting. You energetically close off from people because that opponent in front of you I can't show any weakness. That's literally what these guys are trained to do. Their whole entire lives is to close up, shield, and not allow someone to pierce through that and see the real them underlying that maybe they're whether nervous or scared, exhausted, whatever it is. That's literally the game of chess between another person while you're fighting. It can become very challenging when that's all you do, right? And so I had a big part in my career when the health issues happened and I stepped back. I was like, oh my God, all I knew was Cody the fighter. But oh man, I actually love music. I love going out with friends and just playing around. I love doing all these things that gave me more energy than all the new training devices would or the new biohacking hacks would. Living life again for me, for little Cody inside, that couldn't come out to play for a long, long time because he had a job to handle.
Now, being a fighter, you could have easily said, I got to fight through this too, but you recognize that you had,
I did.
You recognize that. Now, how important is it now seeing that these fighters are going to be getting the help that, you know, other fighters didn't get, getting therapy for a year? How important is that? Because people talk about mental health, but this event is making it happen.
I think it changes the whole directory and direction of their career and their life, because it doesn't reach a point where the disease has manifested to a point where they harm themselves. They self-sabotage themselves, which is the very start of it, right before something major happens where they might take their life and affect families and other people around. So when they start before it becomes a problem, that I believe is the cure, because there never really was a problem. It was just how they were handling it. So when they are given the tools and the empowerment to realize it's a choice and they can make changes and use tools around, which is what Anthony is doing. Mental therapy is just one of them. Also different physical therapies to get fighters out of that hard mindset, right, where they just kind of lose themselves in their bodies, can be very therapeutic. The list goes on and on. These guys are going to have tools in their toolbox to have longer, more successful careers than I think most of these fighters that either go right up and the fame gets to them or the drugs get to them. Whatever it is, they're going to have the tools to manage it better. And I hope that we don't have any more stories of fighters who've gave their whole entire lives to the fans, to the world, and they don't have any life left that they leave.
So I have a last question before we go to the next Wayne. You're very brave to come forward, because a lot of people, when it comes to, you have a broken hand, we see a cast. You have a cut, we see stitches. When it comes to mental stuff, there's a stigma that comes with it, that something's really, you can't talk about it, like it's prohibited. So what do you tell fighters that are dealing with it not to be hesitant or scared to come forward?
I think it's just all us judging ourselves. That's why it's so hard for men, especially fighters too, because like I said, we're trained for that. You walk into a gym, most of the time we're trained to read the room. You can see who the superstar is in the room just by his demeanor, right? Still going?
Okay, so let's go back to Lupe with the next Wayne. Thank you, Cody.
Division, fighting out of Coahuila, Saltillo, Mexico. Please welcome Ruby Gutierrez on the scale.
So women's boxing.
104.4 for Gutierrez, 104.4.
Women's boxing have been in a surge lately, Sophia. It's right now you have so many great fights, so many female fighters who didn't have this.
Her opposition in the red corner,
and,
fighting out of the Coachella Boxing Gym and hailing from Los Angeles, California. Please welcome Brooke Cebrian weighing in. Brooke Cebrian.
One of the female fighters on this card, and talking about who she looks up to. And one of the names she mentioned is Amanda Serrano, who has done so much in this
106
sport.
on the nose for mighty Brooke Cebrian. 106 on the nose.
Now, I saw mighty Brooke yesterday. She looked good. She looked sharp. I mean, look at her. She looks physically incredible, and she's so tiny, but she's so strong. I saw her hitting the pads just like Eddie Reynoso holds for Canelo. Man, she got some power behind her.
This is a very exciting fight. Also very even, 6-2, 5-1-1. It's amazing to see fighters that are willing to put everything on the line and not take easy fights.
Sophia and Ellie, back to you guys.
Another special guest we have with us, one of the most popular fighters on the planet. He's just starting, just 4-0, Johnny Mansour.
Mr. Mansour, how you doing?
Good. I'm doing great.
Now, you just fought not too long ago in San Diego. Being from SoCal, you're not that far from San Diego. How does it feel to be able to fight in Los Angeles, especially for a great cause like championing for health?
It's amazing. I got a lot of family coming down from home. San Diego's not too far, so it's great. LA has treated me like this is home, so I'm excited to fight for a great cause and bring awareness to mental health.
Why dedicate the fight to your mom?
Because she's the strongest woman in the world. She's fighting through her toughest time of her life. This whole camp, I've been spending all the time that I can with her. I've been spending time inside the gym, 4 hours a day inside the gym and 4 or 5 hours a day at the hospital. But seeing her strength, go through what she's going through and still having that belief and still having faith in God and never questioning anything, as a son, my job is to bring her happiness. So she's looking forward to this day and to this moment. And my goal is to get this win and make her happy.
That's very respectful, and I wish your mom all the best and I hope she recovers. Obviously, she'll be watching tomorrow.
Of course. She's looking forward to this, and she told me to wear blue and gold. So I'm going to have something special on that blue and gold for her, too.
Whatever Mama says, Mama goes.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And Johnny, in the amateurs, you were one of the best. Now you're training pro, you're getting so much attention. How are you handling it? It's a lot of pressure when you're so young and everybody's on you, everybody's watching every move.
Well, like you say, even in the amateurs, I had all that pressure, all that attention. So, the pressure, life is all about how you take the energies from whatever it is that you have going on outside and how you implement it as a fighter or as an athlete. So for me, I'm just taking all this has great support and great energy behind me. And even, my opponents that look at me and try to be fierce and try to, even if they were to push me, try to throw me off. At the end of the day, all that matters is the skills inside the ring, and the fight is long won way before the fight even happens. And I've been preparing very hard, and I'm ready for this moment.
Now, you look very calm and collected. How do you maintain that calmness throughout fight week now that there's the media workouts, the interviews? How do you maintain a calmness leading into fight night?
It comes with a lot of experience. Of course, everybody starts off anxious. Of course, everyone has their days where they can't keep calm. But for me, I found that my balance and the best that I could bring out of myself is when I'm calm. The calm before the storm. Smiling, laughing, having fun, playing Spanish, reggaeton, Mexican music, backstage. That's what keeps me calm. And right before I walk out, just flip that switch and everything changes.
Now, Ellie, I think I'm going to have to go into the locker room tomorrow and see what type of reggaeton or Spanish music he's listening to.
Absolutely. Mainly Bad Bunny, I would say.
Okay.
Can you give us a sample?
I'm not a singer, so that's all you.
Johnny, how do you make weight for your height? How do you do 133?
To be honest, I got the greatest nutritionist, so shout out to my nutritionist, Mo. He's from the Middle East, and he helps me out. And I'm very, very disciplined, not only during camp, but it's all about what you do outside of camp, too. So I'm always eating healthy. Boxing is a full-time job, so it's camp time to eat healthy. No, I'm always staying in shape, so that helps. So when it comes down to making weight, just not eating late and eating very healthy, get on a solid meal plan and make weight.
All right, wait.
Good.
All right, Johnny, I got to ask you, though. After fight night, what is your go-to cheat meal?
I would say a McFlurry and fries from McDonald's.
Noted.
That's definitely my favorite. A McFlurry is always the tradition since the amateurs. But after that, I would say I like pasta. I love Italian food.
McDonald's sponsor him.
Yeah, McDonald's, if you're watching, we need that sponsorship.
We'll see him at the Golden Arcs tomorrow after the fight. Now, before we get into the next weigh-in, we're going to show you another preview of another young fighter.
My name is Johnny Mansour, and I'm from San Diego, California. Now that, I'm pro, I'm 4-0, my amateur pedigree is transitioning
we're gonna go to a fighter
my
from
professional
Glendale.
boxing style, and I feel like I'm getting a lot more comfortable inside that ring.
Johnny Magic!
There he is.
My mom is currently fighting through her toughest battle in life. She's battling cancer. As a son, it's been very hard to see my mother struggling. And not one time has she looked at me with any doubt. She's looked at me and just told me to keep fighting and to keep going on with my life. So for me, my goal is to fight for her. I always expect the best out of my opponents. I always actually expect greater than what they truly are. Whatever he brings forward, I'm ready for it. He's never been knocked out before, but he's never faced Johnny. This fight is dedicated to my mom, the strongest woman in the world. Mom, I'm gonna win my fight, and you're gonna win yours. Thankful for all the support, and you're not gonna wanna miss this performance.
We continue with the weigh-in for championing mental health tomorrow night live at the Avalon Hollywood and broadcast worldwide on DAZN. This contest set for 4 rounds in the bantamweight division. First to weigh in, fighting out of East Las Vegas, Nevada. Please welcome Marlene Slugger Avila weighing in. $118 on the nose for Avila. 118 on the nose. Our opposition puts her undefeated record on the line, fighting out of El Paso, Texas. Please welcome Poison Ivy Enriquez on the scale. 117 and 1/2. The official weight for Enriquez, 117 and 1/2. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this will make up part of our card tomorrow night. It is Championing Mental Health, a night of boxing taking place here in Hollywood, California. It's going to be lights, camera, all action at the Avalon Hollywood, being presented by 555 Media and sponsored by Alleviate Tax, Athletes for Hope, in association with WBC Cares.
Forward, please. Right here. Right here. Right here, guys. Look right here. Look right here. Closer. Get closer. Get closer. Get closer. There you go. Right here. Right here. Right there. Yes, Chris? Got it. Thank you. Let's go.
My name is Jesse Super Mandapat, and we're fighting at a wild card boxing fight. Coming back from my first loss, it was hard for me. It was hard for me to come back. I was probably depressed for like a good month. I didn't go to the gym. I didn't want to leave the house. I didn't feel like I was built for the sport. Everything's a battle up here in the mental. The mind is a devil's playground. The devil's going to tell you things that you're not good enough, that you're not working hard enough, that you're never going to get to where you want to be. But God is always there to remind you that you can. God made a way, God made a plan, and the mental part is the most important. You could build muscle, you could build cardio, but everything starts in here. You know, my mental is good, my head is good.
I'm here joined by none other than Jesse Mandapat. Now, being an LA local, seeing the video, you training with Freddie Roach, and having the public workout yesterday, how was that?
It was great. It was amazing. I love the cameras. You know, I'm just blessed to be a part of this opportunity over here, and it's something greater than boxing. Is championing mental health. You know.
Tell me about that. What does that mean to you, mental health?
You know, I feel like everybody kind of goes through some type of struggle, for sure. And for me in the gym, it was just something that kind of relieved stress out of me during the time. But in reality, it was really like an outlet from the stuff that was going on at home. And, you know, we look at these kids that go to the gym, but sometimes we don't understand that the stuff that they go through at home, they go to the gym happy, but then the stuff when they go home is another story. You know,
It's a fight on its own.
It's a fight on its own. It's a fight on its own for sure.
Now, big fight happening tomorrow. We're excited to see you in the ring again. Now, talk to me about what happened at that weigh-in. Things got pretty heated.
Things got pretty heated. I didn't mean to lose my cool like that, but I mean, it's part of boxing. He said he wanted to see me on the floor, so I mean, I had to stand my ground. I'm not gonna back down from nobody either. Yes, sir.
Now, does the back and forth, does that fuel you? Do you take that on to fight night?
Oh yeah, my adrenaline pumping. But you know, I got to cool it until the night of the fight. Then that's when the warrior's gonna come out.
Did you happen to see Manny Pacquiao yesterday?
I didn't want to bother him though. I know he's preparing for his fight, and then I got my thing going on with the media day and stuff like that. So, you know, I didn't get a chance to see him, but you know, I always love seeing him, especially before when he would be always in LA, like running and stuff like that. So I love seeing him.
I remember when you were a young kid, you were around, what are you, 7, 8?
Oh yeah, no.
They stole your phone once at one of the workouts.
Oh yeah, no, you remember that?
Tell Sophia the story.
Yeah, no, I totally forgot about that story. But I remember when I was at the park, I set my phone down when we were doing sit-ups. Next thing you know, my phone was gone. I was like, where was that? I was like, but I mean, you know, it is what it is. I was a kid. I was clueless, you know, just leaving my phone around. I should have not done that. So, yeah.
Now you got to find your iPhone. You can find it anywhere.
Yeah, now you can just find the phone anywhere now. So God is good.
Jesse, I think you and I were the only ones who didn't say hi to Manny. There was a guy who came up to me. He's like, "Did you say hi to him?" Like, we all went down. I'm like, no one told me. I would have gone. But like you said, he's training.
He's training, yeah. I don't want to get him out of his mental. You know, he got things that he has to do, prepare for the fight. And, you know, I understand, too, because, like, I'm a fighter, especially, like, training for a fight. You kind of want to be, you know, at that mode. You know what I mean? So.
But as a person that ran with him and trained with him, you were just a kid. I don't know, 12, 13, whatever. What did that mean to you, to run with the pound-for-pound king?
Oh man, it meant everything during that time. Like just looking up to him and seeing him on TV. It's like even till this day, I still get nervous watching him. Like I still get the butterflies, and I don't get the butterflies when I fight. But I see him, I'm like, ooh, this is gonna be good. Yeah. So I mean, it means everything, and he really was. I would say one of the reasons who planted the seed of God in me. You know, and just being closer to God and I just know him a lot better than how I knew him when I was a lot younger. You know, I always believed in God before, but it wasn't really like anything like, oh, everyone believes in God. I believe in God. I believe in God. But no, knowing him and knowing who's your father and what he's done for you on the cross is another story. Yeah.
I've been having a conversation with a lot of athletes, not just boxers, but football players, and they always say faith over fear. I grew up, with a religious background, but it takes you and your experiences that you go through in life to really reconnect with him. So it's a beautiful thing, seeing so many fighters, praising to God after the fight because you're not alone.
Yes, and I feel like this is a generation right now where a lot of people are coming to Christ, and it's a beautiful thing. I feel like it's really beautiful. Yes.
So last thing, your prediction for tomorrow, what can we expect? Do you have a round, a punch?
I don't want to say too much, but it's gonna be fireworks. I don't want to say too much with any plans because I know you. Where's the camera? Ramirez, I see you watching. I see you watching right now. I'm not gonna say nothing. Like a light.
All right, we're going to toss it over, see this video of Avitias Gadian.
My name is Avalon Gadian. I'm representing Forward Fighting Club, Burbank, California. Being involved in boxing really changes your mindset. I wasn't the bravest kid when I started boxing, but you really get that confidence, which helps you in life too, not just in boxing. And boxing was my main source of confidence, and not even inside the ring, but outside of the ring. Throughout life, you face a lot of challenges that you have to be stronger with your mental health than with your fists. You have to be mentally strong to train twice, 3 times a day, make weight, to fight. Is really overwhelming, everything. But we're fighters and we go through that. That's what we do. You have to be mentally strong inside the ring as well as the outside of the ring. The life before boxing, when I started, it was really hard. When I wanted to give up was, first of all, my dad. He always supported me. He had my back all the time. Financial-wise, mental-wise, I really appreciate whatever he's doing for me.
We continue with the weigh-in this contest at a catchweight of 138 pounds and set for a limit of 4 rounds. First to weigh in, hailing from Kaneohe, Hawaii, please welcome Walter Zaragoza on the scale. 128.4, the official weight for Zaragoza, 128.4. His rival in the red corner for the second time as a pro, fighting out of North Hollywood, California, and representing his homeland of Vanadzor, Armenia. Please welcome Avalon Gadian weighing in. A ripped and ready 135.4 for Gadian, 135.4. Again, ladies and gentlemen, you can catch all the action live tomorrow night. It will be on DAZN. It is Championing Mental Health, a night of boxing, a presentation of 555 Media, and being sponsored by Alleviate Tax, along with Athletes for Hope in association with WBC Cares. This is one of our preliminary bouts. Gadian Zaragoza, live from the Avalon, Hollywood.
Another exciting weigh-in over here. It's a tremendous fight night, May 21st. Don't miss it, Avalon in Hollywood. But Sophia, we have another special guest with us.
Yes.
A future superstar, future champion.
Yes, the beautiful Mighty Brooke. How are you doing? You looked so happy yesterday while you were doing the media workout, and here you are looking amazing, and it's the night before your fight.
Yeah, I tell everybody I choose this lifestyle, so I approach every single day with that attitude because I have the health and I have the support and an incredible team to allow me to do it. So why would I have any other type of feeling or expression, and this is the time to boogie and my night. So I'm enjoying it. And it's, I mean, the production and everything is amazing. So there's no way I can't just take it all in and, enjoy it.
Yeah, now fighting out of Montebello, but out of Coachella Valley. So local, we'd say.
Yeah.
How exciting is it to be fighting here in LA in front of friends, family, and for a great cause?
Of course. So I'm originally LA girl. I grew up in San Fernando, but Meg and I, my fiance, we moved to Coachella 5 years ago for boxing. And so we are always back and forth, especially with sparring. It's our lifestyle. So for family and our friends and, the boxing community, it's amazing to be able to fight here and under an amazing cause.
Speaking of the cause, you've been around boxing. You obviously have a lot of experience. So much pressure on fighters, so much mental issues that they deal with. How do you see it from your perspective, both as a fighter and as a person that's in the gym and sees people struggling?
Of course. So I actually came into boxing at 27 years old, so a little bit more mature, different mentally, right? And when I started boxing, I understood what those pressures are. It is a pressure cooker, the nature of the sport, especially in the pro ranks. You are an entertainer. You have an obligation to sell yourself, right? To be able to put butts in the seats and have people pay their hard-earned money, and also to the pressures of performing and fighting, not only to do your job, to hurt the other person, also protect yourself because it's dangerous, but you have to have, keep it exciting. And those are pressures that we as the fighters have, because sometimes you might not have a night, or your style is, for whatever reason, not appreciated by the casual fans. So there's a lot of pressures, but something that I always advocate, because I'm a big advocate for mental strength, I like to say that, is being able to have those conversations. I have access to an amazing amateur team, the youth. So everything that I'm going through as an amateur, because I did go through the amateur ranks, and as a pro, I share that knowledge. I share that experience. I've had 2 personal pro losses already in my young career. Nobody plans for that. Nobody wants that. And people will quick to write you off, right? But again, it's showing that we're human, we're not robots, and this is something that you're choosing and you're learning on the job. And if you have 2 options, I tell them all the time, so you don't go your way, are you gonna hang them up and call it a day, or you're gonna go right back to it, study, analyze, come up with your team and see what you need to do more of and fix and keep trucking along. So that's my story, and I do that in many ways. So I thank them for listening to me. I think it helps that I train with them, so they're like, okay, she's doing it, so I'll take her word for it. So.
Yeah, now talking about mental strength, I like that you like to say mental strength instead of mental health.
Yeah.
How important is that during training camps? Because like we said, boxers have a fight in the ring, but it's also their life. They could be dealing with their own battles.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're human too, so we have family life, we have financial problems, we have everything else. And as much as we prefer not to talk about it, because once you're in the gym, you escape. That's your escape. So you're not talking about it, but you have to come out of the gym and face those. So one of the things is, okay, when you're going through the trenches and you're in your dungeon in the gym and you're going through it, it's hard. You have to create a mental script that you're reciting to yourself to be able to do that. And little do people realize that you're callousing your mind, and those habits translate to everything else you go through outside of the ring. So that's something that Meg and I, we purposely include that in our training regimen. So what are we listening to? Who are we talking to? You could talk to someone who doesn't know anything about your world, and yeah, it might be cool, but you might get more of a pity party, or they're just a wall because they don't have that experience or knowledge. But you have to seek, and it takes work. Seek people that have been there, that know, and say, hey, this is what's happening. How did you deal with it? And then now you have a game plan, you have experience. So again, those are conversations that we like to have and to share with anybody that's willing to, because sometimes it takes 2 to tango.
It's like, are they ready to
Exactly,
talk about it?
exactly. So, and that's the thing, awareness is key. They have to be, like you said, aware that they need it. And then also too, the next part is doing something about it, not just keeping it to yourself. So.
Okay. 2 quick questions. What did you do before boxing? And what made you want to get in the sport at 27?
Yeah. So my story, I was a competitive, dedicated soccer player from 5 years old to 18.
Easiest sport in the world.
I know. We have to talk about that. It is a very much a contact sport, and actually we see a lot of similarities in how I fight from it. So, anyways, so I did that. That was my introduction to competition, but then high school happened, and now we're looking for colleges. Didn't get my D1 scholarship, so I gave it up, and I was like, well, my professional career is out the door. I'm not getting that backing, so I stopped. Went to college, graduated from Rider University, go Bronx, and that's in New Jersey. So I was kind of East Coast girl for a little bit. And I graduated, first generation college grad, have my degree, got immediately recruited to the Wall Street Journal. So I've been working with them for 10 years, and I love it. They support this life and my passion. So they've really allowed me to make this my full-time job. And I obviously it takes a lot of preparation and all that stuff, but it works really well. I've been remote for about 5 years, and that's kind of when I started boxing. I found boxing through fitness boxing classes in New York, which the community was amazing. Females, good vibes, everybody's dressed really nice. And then that was my introduction to throwing punches. And for me, I was like, wow, my mind was so stimulated. I was like, I've never done this. This is amazing. And then you have women just like empowering you, and everybody's like in such a great mood. So it was exactly what I needed. I was already corporate, kind of started to like hate the lifestyle, and it got the itch. So I started there. Competitiveness in me, I picked it up fast. And then everybody was like, hey, you should consider amateur fighting. I'm like, can you? And they're like, yeah, you're still young enough like to do the regular amateurs. So I was like, let's do it. And in my mind, I was like, I'll just do one and see how it goes, because I didn't grow up with boxing, never watched it. Obviously, I knew who the greats were, but nothing. So I went to 818 Boxing, which is in San Fernando Valley. Shout out to Coach Edgar. And that's where I met Mega. So he became my first coach. We started training, and then I had my first amateur fight, 2021. I had 2 fights in one night in Managua, Nicaragua. Chocolatito, my mentor, and the legend, has been huge in that aspect to help support that. And it's been nonstop ever since. 2-time national champion, 33 fights, 25 fights in 2 years. So I'm like, I want to turn pro before I'm 30, and we're going to do it. So Mega was like, this is a perfect plan. And he and I became road dogs going everywhere. And look at us now. We always say it's a movie for us, and we enjoy every aspect, doesn't matter what, and we just give it our all. So
I love it. Now, going to school on the East Coast, we're glad to have you back and putting on a show here in LA. Now, we're excited to see you tomorrow, Brooke. Thank you. Now we're going to send it back to Lupe for our next weigh-in.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brooke.
Our final bout to weigh in, but opening up the action tomorrow night at the Avalon Hollywood, set for 4-round super bantamweight division. First to weigh in out of the blue corner from Reynosa, Tamaulipas, Mexico. This is Steven Cruz weighing in. £119 pounds, the official weight for Cruz, 119. His opposition from the Alamo City, San Antonio, Texas. This is Kevin Ayala on the scale. 122 right on the nose. 122 right on the nose, the official weight for Ayala. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this will open up the action tomorrow night. If you're fortunate enough to be here in Southern California, make sure you stop by the Avalon Hollywood. It is championing mental health. A night of boxing being presented by 555 Media, sponsored by Alleviate Tax in association with Athletes for Hope, and WBC Cares, being streamed worldwide on DAZN.
Thank you. So we have another weigh-in complete here, but we have a special guest, Sophia. Mark Habibi, he's the man behind Fightbook. You've seen Fightbook everywhere you look.
Everywhere. You actually gave me a shirt. I've been rocking it when I train.
Right. I appreciate that. Thanks for representing me.
Of course. Happy to have you here. Now,
thank you.
Talk to me about how important this event is.
This particular event is an amazing event for recognizing mental health and awareness, and we're proud to be a part of it. We're actually getting ready to launch our product next month, beginning of June. We'll be launching at the IBF convention. And And very excited to get this thing going. It's been a project for the last 9 months. It feels like I've been carrying a baby.
It's your baby,
and
yeah.
we're about to give birth, so we're gonna hopefully everything works out. Baby comes out okay, 10 fingers, 10 toes.
It will, Mark. It's a fantastic idea, something that doesn't exist. And I think the more people understand what you're doing, they're on board.
Yeah.
And it's free to join, so it doesn't cost anybody money, and it just gives them opportunities for sponsors to get a fight, for fighters to get opportunities, for everybody wins. I wanted to ask you, what do you think about this event tomorrow night?
I'm excited to watch it. We're going to be there. I think the lineup is great, and some great fights. It's going to be awesome.
The lineup is great, and it also tackles a very big thing that happens in the boxing community, mental health. Every athlete goes through it, but boxing is a lonely sport. It's just you and the gym. I mean, I hope this is the first of many events like this because it's a very important topic.
Absolutely. Is this the first event of its type?
Yes.
That's beautiful. That's awesome.
And how amazing is it that every fighter on the card is going to get a year of therapy?
Beautiful. I didn't know that. That's great.
They're getting your therapy. They're getting what every fighter told us. We've never seen a production like this. We've never seen a production like this.
It's actually over the top. This environment is great. This rooftop is beautiful. It's a little warm, but
Very warm. Shout out Steve for setting this all up. It's an amazing event.
Yeah.
Now, Mark, I've known you for many years. You've always been around boxing. You're around the best pound-for-pound fighters on the planet. What got you the idea to launch Fight Book?
Frustration. I started managing fighters that had no representation by promoters, and so that extra level of work you have to do as a manager, sourcing opponents for your guys and trying to find them shows to get on. It's just a very archaic process, so hopefully we streamline this thing and make it much easier to make fights. And we're creating an entire ecosystem, so we're going above and beyond just servicing fighters out there, but basically every service provider, everybody who's either directly or indirectly involved in the sport is going to benefit from the platform. So
Fans, media, matchmakers, promoters,
nutritionists,
sponsors,
ring card girls, ring rentals, everything. Sky's the limit. Insurance agents, attorneys, everybody who has any impact on a fighter or fighter's life has a place for Fight Book.
And of course the fighters themselves.
Exactly.
Okay, can we get Sophia a fight?
Let's do it. Sophia,
She's serious.
you ready? Yeah, July 26th. We got the Butterfly Brawl. It's happening in Burbank.
I'll have to talk to my coach, see if
There
he's
you
down
go.
to train me.
So Mark, just thank you so much for everything, and tell everybody where to go to get information to sign up and everything.
Absolutely. Fightbook.com. You can pre-register right now. We're going to be launching June 3rd, so you don't have to pre-register at that point. You can actually register on the platform and get going. So see you guys there.
And guys,
Amazing. Thank you, Mark, for
Thank
taking
you.
the time to chat with
Appreciate
us.
you guys.
June 3rd.
Absolutely, yes.
We'll be tuned in now.
Thank you.
We're going to send it back to Lupe, who's going to close the show for us.
Perfect. Thanks.
The action opens up tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m. live at the Avalon Hollywood. Then we go worldwide at 7:30 on DAZN. It is Championing Mental Health, a night of boxing being presented by 555 Media in association with Alleviate Tax. Along with Athletes for Hope and WBC Cares, make sure you tune in. It's going to be lights, camera, all action. We will see you tomorrow night here in Hollywood. Thank you.
Good job, everybody. That was,